years, my clients and colleagues have said to me that they just need a Rosie in their pocket. What they mean by that is reminders to bring them back to tools and resources that can help them be better in the moment, and a voice that challenges their thinking and encourages them to live their best and most fulfilled life. I always took it as a compliment and had a good chuckle about it. And after so much feedback and prompting, I have decided to bring Rosie in my pocket to life. Small doses of learning and inspiration to guide you through this journey of life. Here's the teaching and inspiration that I want to share with you today.
When you hear yourself or others talk about putting people first, what comes to mind? And I want to look at this from the macro level, but more importantly, the micro level. So macro level, we think about, are we putting people first, rehumanizing workplaces, creating people first workplaces? Are we a people first leader? But that can only happen if we also can recognize where there are opportunities or gaps on the micro level. And what I mean by that is that so often, whether we realize it or not, we identify or inadvertently label ourselves and others through our functions, through our status, through our role, which is not the human part. So, for example, you might hear someone refer to someone as a diabetic, or you talk about they're a leader, or they're a mom, or they're a dad, or they're this, or they're that. We're talking about people in terms of their role, their health status, their function. But they're a person who just happens to be fill in the blank, a person who has this condition, a person who has this role. And I also so often hear people that I work with limit themselves and say, well, I can't talk to them. I can't speak back up to my doctor because I don't have that training, or I can't say that to that person. They're the CEO. And they somehow put a title or something on a pedestal that somehow means that that person is greater than them or better than them. The reality is we're all human beings trying to navigate this world. They're a person who happens to have that job. They're a person who happens to have that title. And I can tell you from working with all kinds of persons and leaders with all kinds of titles that they have their own self-limiting stories and insecurities just like everybody else. And so my invitation and my challenge for you this week is to start noticing where yourself and others, you start referring to people in terms of their function or labels, and catch yourself and start seeing the person who has fill in the blank. See the person behind her judgment, see the person behind the function, the person behind the label. Because when we see the person, it becomes easier to lean in and have connection and curiosity. And when we lead with the label, it becomes easier to stand in judgment and have disconnection. I would love to hear what opens up for you as you put this one into practice. And remember, never, ever, ever let anyone dull your sparkle.
I'm so grateful to be on your leadership journey with you. And even though I'm not physically in your pocket, I certainly cherish the opportunity to share my heart and learnings to help you. If this message inspired you today, I'd love to hear from you, or gift me a review on Apple Podcasts. Be well, my friends, and now go add a little sparkle to your day.